I wanted to do something completely different. I wanted to do something that would let some of the children see that everything they're learning is linked.
Eleanor Wilkinson is a maths teacher from Sussex with big plans for a cross-curricular Space and Rocket Week.
It hadn't been done before, but it seemed like a sensible thing to have a go at. And if we don't try these cross-curricular activities, how do we know if they're going to work?
But can she convince her colleagues?
When I knew that Space and Rocket Week was on, I thought, oh, crikey, how can I do Space and Rocket Week?
And inspire students to see links between subjects.
When you're ready.
I think if you're going to achieve something that's significant, you do take a calculated risk and you reflect on what's going to push your school to develop further. I would suggest that by learning in this way, it will enable students to achieve more highly in their exams, as well as having good personal learning and thinking skills.
So it's a really easy exercise, OK? You're going to be working in pairs. You get your apple and you're going to cut it in half and you're going to cut it into quarters so you end up with a nice sharp wedge like that. So I want you just to peel your apple, mind your little fingers, 2 teaspoons of sugar, move the apple around with your hands, lay them out on your baking sheet, put them in the oven for 5 minutes, then we'll have a little taste comparison, right, OK? So you can start slicing them up.
They've done a lot of working in teams in Space Week, and so they're working very well as teams, lots of consultation and, you know, discussing matters. So that was really good.
What are they like?
They're really nice.
Oh, delicious. Lee, how do they taste?
They're really nice, but I don't think soft apple is really a good combination.
You don't think cinnamon apple is a good combination?
Quite sweet and smooth.
Sweet and smooth. OK. Now, everybody come and get some astronaut cinnamon wedges. Feel them, look at them, smell them, taste them.
Feel them. The ones that we just tasted were hard and dry.
They just tasted completely just like rubber to me.
It's been really fun, and well, we've done like really different things. We've done really different things compared to like we do normally, and it's just a lot more fun than normal weeks.
Kids love it, and we've got nearly 100% attendance, which is really good. There was one child off sick yesterday, and I think there's one off sick today, and that's it. It's been complicated, but I think mostly the videos have been got that we need to get, the pictures have been got that we need to get, and the children are basically doing space and rockets across the curriculum, which is what we aimed for.
It's maths, and Team Endurance have only the next 40 minutes to complete their project.
Well, I'm writing down the checks, as you can see. That's all mine. Mimi's kind of coordinating it a little bit. Millie's drawing stuff. And Joe's giving out ideas.
I'm like helping put the thing together.
I think we presume as teachers that you say get into a team and everyone does it automatically, whereas it's really important for the students to be able to identify the roles that they play in the team and what makes an effective team. Challenging them to reflect on that will be a really powerful tool for them.
What else do we need to do? Other people to do other stuff.
Let's just do this first, eh?
Yeah.
Where's the next bit?
I'll do it. Do we have any masking tape?
Do we really need master tape? What about sellotape?
We'll just use it like little bits.
Nearly.
What's this for? Is it for masking tape?
Yes.
I'm the authorising
Okay, I don't care.
Okay, just sign that your signature. Fine.
Yeah.
Have you written me a check? Are you keeping a good record of your expenses?
Yes.
60,000, 70,000, 73,000.
Can I remind everyone that
Oh no, we're not meant to stick them on yet because we're doing measurements, don't we? Look. Oh, it doesn't matter about one. John, can you measure that?
I heard some of them talking about circumferences and things in order to work out cones, but of course very quickly they realised that although they might need to work out a circumference or a diameter of their bottle, they can also just get a bit of card and put the card round it and work it out just by trial and error. We can't go completely let's do teamwork all the time because it doesn't get the high enough level maths in, the problems aren't challenging enough sometimes.
We don't have enough time. We don't have enough time to argue, so let's just get picked.
Anyways, Aaron, we need more masking tape.
Why? I thought you wanted glue a second ago. More tape. More tape. Glue. Glue or tape? Oh, bring it down and everything.
How much does glue cost?
50,000.
Oh,
The pink rocket. It's a rocket that's pink, basically, because the girls wanted it to be pink.
by the way, you're going to have to take the cap off and it's going to fly, so it's going to fly off. That's actually really good in your head.
Is it straight?
Yeah.
So is it going to work, do you think?
Yeah.
I think we've got some rockets that might fly, so... Although some of them don't look like it at the moment. OK.
In Debbie's classroom, the teams have managed to stay on task. Down the corridor, fellow maths teacher Jason is facing some of the challenges of allowing students to work independently.
Who's got the original design drawn out?
We don't have a design, we're going by thought.
Who was in charge of design then?
Frankie. Huh?
He didn't choose anyone to design.
Yeah, he done it and then...
Jason planned to let them work independently, but can't help getting involved.
So how can you budget for the materials if you haven't designed it?
I don't know. We can't.
Blame Frankie.
What? Blame me?
Yes, blame Frankie.
They just seem to be making up as they go along. So if that was real business, they quickly run out of money and probably end up with a design that doesn't fly.
The teams have been given clay to help balance their rockets, but they've got other ideas. The freedom to work independently can be an excuse to do nothing, as Jason's finding out.
They haven't tested the weight and the balance, which is all in the instructions, and it's not going to fly very far at all.
Most of us know what we're doing, like with the rocket, but I don't think all of us know what we're doing.
It's quite nice to see them being independent. What was frustrating was that we were allowing the ones that were doing nothing to do nothing. So we let them sit there, and perhaps from an outsider's point of view, they were wasting 2 or 3 lessons. But hopefully in reality what they were doing was realising, well, actually, that they've wasted their time and no one else's.
It's probably easier if we get someone to tell us, but if it's like, if we do it ourselves, then we might think of a better idea than just if the teacher's telling us, and also it makes us like think more, so it's more fun.
When we look at our students at A-level, they're still very dependent, and they're wanting to be drip-fed every bit of information as they're learning at A-level, and that's not a realistic model for higher education at university or for the workplace. If we don't teach them how to think and how to learn, then there's something missing, and so that's what we're committed to making sure happens. So you haven't... I would make it more structured, but then I don't want to give too much structure because it's all about them finding out for themselves. But you know, a bit more structure, perhaps a few more deadlines built in within the 3 lessons, rather than just saying, here's 3 lessons, go and do it. Some of them look like they've actually made a rocket that flies, which is quite encouraging. So on Thursday we'll get to see who wins, how far they go, and then we'll know.
It's the final day of the cross-curricular project at St Paul's Catholic College. And for the 2 teams and their classmates, it's the moment they've all been waiting for. Time to launch their bottle rockets and see whose goes highest.
5 minutes to sort out your rockets and fix them.
The rocket launches involve the whole of Year 8, assisted by Year 10s who are distributing fuel and measuring how high they fly with a clinometer, and 6th formers pumping the bottles with air.
We want to beat everybody.
We're going to thrash them.
And we put water in it, like they're doing,
Yeah.
and then it goes... Yeah, we're going to win.
Yeah.
Ours is just too cool.
Endurance are watching the launches carefully, hoping to pick up some tips and blast their rockets as high as possible.
We're tipping the
water out because that one had hardly any water in and it went really high, so we're tipping water out.
I give that one the best one so far.
Yeah, I'd say that one was the best one so far as well.
With Endurance in the lead, can Discovery's rocket blast them into the running?
Maths isn't just about turning on a calculator and putting a few numbers in there. It's about how high did that go, how fast did that fly, how big could that be, why would that work, why would this not work, and it's about investigating and experimenting as well.
With rockets successfully launched, Eleanor and her colleagues have asked the students to reflect on their experience of the week and fill out feedback forms.
They need to have an ownership of their learning and the way we teach them. And also that kind of feeds into our commitment to developing student voice and for them to be able to give feedback to us about what the most meaningful learning experience is for them.
Could have included more people, but I think everyone did do something. We didn't leave them out for the whole thing.
I was a bit of a leader, I suppose.
Well, if I was working in a team again, I think give people specific jobs because I think that would be easier and we'd get it done quicker. I didn't really understand it, so I just talked. But when Mina said, look, Elise, you've got to start working, then I felt that I wasn't doing that much and I had to do it.
You just try and just drag them in and try and tell them that everyone else is working. Why are you just not working?
Working together and learning stuff about new people because I didn't really know Mina or Kim, who I was working with, so.
I'd be disappointed if they didn't notice any difference in the way that they were learning and being taught.
Before you asked the teacher anything, you had to really think whether or not you needed to ask it. It was quite good because it made you think more, but then in some ways it was a bit hard because then you weren't sure about different things, but it made you think more.
I didn't do any textbook work for the whole week. That's fantastic.
Right, you guys have worked really hard this week and I hope you've enjoyed yourself, but we do have a few prizes because with everything there's always a winner.
Space and Rocket Week for us was a taste of how we could do things day to day rather than it just being a one-off. We feel that making sense of learning is what is most important for students to grasp and to understand. And so if we can think of ways of doing that day to day so that they don't learn the same information in 2 or 3 subject areas and make no links between them at all, then that will be quite a powerful thing.
Discovery was in 3rd place and Discovery's rocket went 8 metres in the air, so I think that deserves a round of applause.
Discovery and Endurance didn't come away with any prizes, but perhaps they gained something more valuable.
I think they also began to see what, if you picked a subject like space and rockets, you could see it in maths, you could see it in science, you could see it in history, and maybe they began to make some links, and I think some of them really did make some links.
In 2nd place, who knows why, Endeavour. The overall winners for height goes for 10.9 metres in the air was Integrity.